Hello, fellow world builders. I'm Karis, and welcome to Square World Portals, where stories are portals. I've titled this video World Build for the sake of world building, but often I hear the opposite advice. When I read or view content from world builders and storytellers out there, they always say, don't world build for the sake of world building. What do they mean? What is so wrong with simply world building? Well, to answer that question, let's go back to the definition of world building. Merriam-Webster has a definition that says it's the art of creating a new fictional world. But I saw in Cambridge Dictionary it says that it is the act of creating an imaginary world in a book, movie, computer game, etc., so that it appears to be real. This captures an interesting perspective on the art of world building, that its primary purpose is to be expressed through some sort of storytelling media, such as a book, a movie, or a computer game. And this is generally true. World building is meant to construct a believable setting for a story. So using that definition, we can say that stories are portals. They're meant to allow the audience to engage with a world. Stories open up a door in the imagination that allows people to enter that world and explore it for themselves. This is why people say, don't world build for the sake of world building. They mean don't overwhelm your reader with too many details. When you write, let the story speak for itself. It's the story that transports the reader to your world, not the descriptions, not the lore, not the info dumps. Let the story breathe. Then it can come alive for the reader and bring the world to life along with it. All that being said, I say I world build for the sake of world building. Why do I say that? So let's go back to the other definition of world building. Merriam-Webster said it was the art of creating a new fictional world, not necessarily for the sake of telling stories, but for its own sake. This is the kind of world building that I do simply for the sake of world building. Many of the details might never come to see the light of day in a story, but I get to experience the fun and satisfaction of seeing that entire puzzle come together, all of the details. So the way I tend to world build, I see it as an exploration. Whether I'm going top down or bottom up, I first have to discover the puzzle pieces one at a time. That involves inspiration, which I have found can come from literally anywhere. It mostly depends on your mindset at the time. It's being in the right place at the right time in the right mindset. An inspiration will then spark an idea that turns into a puzzle piece, which you can then fit into your world. Sometimes you have to mold the piece or a part of the world to get them to mesh together. And here I'd like to give a big caution, because there's certainly a fine line between deepening the layers of a world to include new ideas versus twisting a world into an unrecognizable conglomerate of unrelated ideas. That's where the art and style of world building comes in. You get to decide where that line is. There is a time and place for the overly complicated, unorganized world full of inconsistencies and ironies. But that's not usually what the average world builder like myself is trying to accomplish. Instead, world building is typically about creating something that is comprehensible and believable for all of us to explore. So if you enjoy world building, then yes, be careful about how you express your worlds to an audience, and think about the best ways that you can help them engage with your world through stories that feel alive and can breathe without unnecessary detail. But also, don't be afraid to go all in on just world building for the sake of world building. This is an art for each one of us to enjoy the way we want to, and no one can stop you from going even deeper. Thank you for watching. This has been Karis from Square World Portals. You can follow my blog or my social media using the links in the description below, and I guess I'm supposed to ask you to like and subscribe, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Now go and world build.